fan of my red Rover electric bike, but somehow my front rotor got warped. I think it was going in the rain and hot braking. So I wanted to show you how to change a rotor, but I kind of got it started already. So I'll kind of show you the steps. First thing, I kind of did this already, is the old rotor. These 6 screws, you're going to take those off. And then you're going to clear it, and then you're going to get a new one. And this is my new one. It's just Shimano. So same, different model, but same size. You can see the screw holes lined up. And this is perfectly flat. Now if you kind of look, this may be hard to see on camera, but you put this on this table, you can kind of see we're here. It's crooked. And then you put this one here. There's no movement at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screw these back on. Normally they gave me screws, but I'm going to use the screws that are there because they still have a good amount of grip tape left on them. But you probably shouldn't do that. You can see how new this rotor is. So more in a second. You should also note to do this, you need a Torx bit, a number 25 Torx. I got this from Home Depot. I had it from my Jeep, but it still worked. I think it was like $10. But yeah. T25 Torx. Alright, so that's it all screwed on. I hand tightened it. You should probably torque wrench it, but I don't have a torque wrench. So I took off the brake pads. Let's see how they are. You can see they're still pretty good. They still got a lot of grip and surface on them. But I want to give them a clean. So what you can do, you take some plain old rubbing alcohol and just put it on it. And then get a rag or whatever and see if I can put this down. I'm not a very good filmmaker. And pick this up and then just rub it, and you can kind of see all that grime that comes off of it. And you just want to give it a good rub, and you can kind of see even just it's wet, but you really see you got some stuff off of there. Give this guy a good rub. I'm just using an old t-shirt of my wife's. We kind of use it as a rag. You should probably do the same. You don't want to use paper towel because like a paper towel gets like stuff and fibers in there. You don't want those fibers in there. So just kind of do that. I'll probably do a second coat. Kind of give these some life again. What? Oh, it smells. Let's give this a rub. And this won't rust anything. I mean, it's alcohol will dry in a second, especially in Colorado. So that's that. Good. So here there's brake pads and a little pin thingy. You kind of just use and it holds them. So you kind of make it like a little sandwich. Kind of like that. It's not going to really stick great, but once you put a little pressure on it, it'll stay in. See? It's a little sandwich. And you're going to go up to the bike. And you're going to kind of smush it in. And it's probably not a great way to film this, at least not without like professional camera gear, but that was actually pretty smooth. So that went in pretty good. Tiny little pin. You get usually a new one with the brake every time you change the brakes out. But you put it in, it goes through brake 1, the clip, brake 2, and then back out the other side. And as a safety, you take this, you bend it back. And that way, there's no way, see? There's no way that this brake can come out. Pretty cool. The next stop, you want to make sure that this is all the way in, that it's not at all. You only have so much travel with the brake, so you want to make sure this is all the way back. We did that already, so I don't have to worry. But then you want to, since you want to recenter it, because you have a new rotor, you want to loosen these two on this side, and this is another 5. And not loosen it all the way, but just loosen a good amount. So this is nice and loose. And this is nice and loose. And now you can see the whole assembly kind of jiggles a little bit. That's what you want for now. Obviously you don't want that the whole time. So nice and jiggly. And I'm going to get the tire and put that back. So we got the new wheel, the new rotor on the wheel. And then we have this. So what we want to do is we want to go in all the way with this. There's a little in and out. It's going to go all the way. So that's it. I can't go in anymore. Then I want to go back. Go all the way in. Then you feel it snap. And go back a quarter. Just a little. So all the way in. and a quarter turn back. Just like that, right? So now you can see it has a lot of resistance. So what are you going to do is you're going to grab the brake as tight as you can. Tight as you can. Right? And now what you're going to do is you want to tighten these up without moving them, which is kind of hard. So I'm going to do it again because I think I actually moved it. Yep. And then, so I'm going to do this without off camera, but I want to tighten these up. Not super tight, but really tight. And I tighten these pretty tight. I go out a quarter turn here, and I already did that. So now you did a quarter turn initially, and now a quarter turn now to back it off the brake. And now when you spin it, if I did this right, you shouldn't hear anything. And I actually hear a tiny bit, I think. But maybe it's just the world around me. Yep, so I hear a tiny bit. That's okay. So I'll take a look. I'll find out what's going on here. The rotor looks perfect. The rotor looks really perfect. So what I could do is just do a tiny bit more of a turn. And I'm being real picky here. Beautiful. Now I like to test it by obviously getting on the brake with my foot and then seeing if I can spin it with my hands. So fully broken and I could just barely spin it with my hands. So that's actually a little bit looser than I might want. So I know this is a shitty chain. So this is where I actually will do a little bit of this, which you're not supposed to do, but what I'm doing is I'm pre-stretching the chain and this cable a little bit because I know that it's bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this down. Let's see it down here. Spin it and tighten it and then see if I can move the tire. So I can just barely move the tire. So same thing. I'm going to go a little bit more. And I'm only doing this because A, I know I have more room here, and B, because I know that this is a sloppy chain. I'm a sloppy cable. So try one more time. Yep. I could not move that now. So how does that sound? Perfectly quiet. So now I'm going to stop the wheel so I don't catch my finger, which I tend to do. Then I'm going to tighten these down the rest of the way, like tight, so they don't move around. Now, I don't know if you can see any of this, but hopefully you can at least hear me. So, like I said, what I did is I opened this up a little bit, and you're not supposed to really do this unless you know that you have a cable that's stretchy, and I do, which is because it's low quality, and then I tighten these up a whole bunch, and now I'm done. You know, and I know the tire rotates this way, and you can see it's always the thing you want to do right is have your little rotation mark be the way the tires rotate, and this is the way they rotate. Because if I'm on a road, this is how I move along the road. I don't move this way along the road. I'd be going backwards. Sorry, it's my door. Anyway, so took it for a test ride, and it is good. So what you want to do is you want to kind of get it up to 15, 20 miles an hour and do a light brake to down to 0 and do that like 6, 7 times. And then do a couple hard brakes just to make sure you can emergency brake, and I can. And what you want to do is you want to feel brake in around there, about that halfway through. And then by all the way, you kind of want to be in emergency brake mode. So you can see, and I touched this, but this is real hot from all of that. You can see how new this is. You want to get some grooves in here too. They really kind of get seated. And this back one, the old one, that's still great. Most of your braking is on your front brake, so that's what you want. So there you go. How to change your rotors on a red Rover.